Okay, so this is my tutorial for phone, I guess. So yeah, pretty much the app that I use is obviously Lightroom as well on here. But when I take my photos, so the photos that I'm going to be using, so we'll jump into Lightroom quickly. So I've got a few on here, so of Tiana and Dom, and I'm probably gonna be editing. So I've got that one there. I've got the one with heaps of bokeh. Probably this one. So then you can just use a standard photo. But I will get into how I have both of those photos. So I use this app up here called Halide, and pretty much what it does is it turns your standard camera, which is this, so you don't get like much at all. It turns so your portrait mode more flexibly. So let's go to Halide. It actually turns your photo into so your phone into like a working DSLR nearly, where I can actually take photos, adjust the aperture, the ISO, and the white balance all like together. I'm pretty sure this app was free. I can't really remember. But yeah, and it's really good because like after you've taken the photo, you can actually like edit the bokeh after. And if you don't know what bokeh is, it's pretty much all the blur behind the focus, like the focus point. And like the lower your aperture is like the more blur or bokeh you'll get. Which is why I have two versions of this photo, is because I can control what's blurred and what's not, blah, blah, blah. So let me just... Okay, so I'm going to use this one just because of people who don't like to use the portrait mode on your phone. Just so, yeah, it's more broad and for people on like Android. Anyway, so I'm kind of gonna go off like the setting I've been using on my Instagram. So most of my photos, like this one, it's lewd, have got a kind of faded look behind it. As such, yeah, let's go to this one. So yeah, let's start editing. Alright, first off, I just jump into the presets, and that lets you play around with what kind of vibe you want to go for. So I'm going to go for the color one again, and I always just switch it to matte. So straight away, it's given it a more like desaturated look. It's taken away a bit of the exposure, so that the shadows are quite dark and you actually can't see the jumper, and that's when I want to jump into the lights. So I don't want to make this a dark photo, so I do want to bring up the exposure quite a bit and make it quite bright in the background for now. Yeah, I'll turn those up. Turn my whites up. Oh, not too much. No, I'll leave that like that. The shadows, leave them back there for now. Color. Alright, this is where I get into detail. So what kind of vibe I'm going for? More of okay, I'm going to leave that back as how it was and not to play with that. Saturation. Alright, what colors do I want to keep? We want to get rid of the reds, so we'll turn the reds. There is no reds anyway. The oranges, we want to keep those because that's her. The yellows. I'm going to turn them off to about 82. Greens, I'm going to turn them off completely. I'm going to turn the cyan down, or the light blue, and I'm going to turn my blues up. So I'm going to pop the blues. But if you look down the bottom there, so I'm not going to actually leave it on 100 because it looks like shit. It actually makes the photo down there look like shit. So, jump back into it. And I'm going to have it so it's not too much, so about there, which is still popping the blue nicely. Okay, purples. Don't see any changes at all, so we're going to turn that all the way down. Magentas. Turn them down. Actually, I'm going to jump back into the sign again because I did see... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to turn my signs back up. Not too much, though. About there. But it's kind of... You can see it on the actual jumper there, which is what really annoys me. And I need to find out what colour it is. That's also been eliminated on the jumper, so I think it's green, to be honest. No, it's not. I've got a feeling it's yellow then. Nope. Alright, not too sure what it is. So I'm going to leave it, deal with it. But I am going to change the hue of the light blue to a more darker blue. So it really changes that up heaps. I'm going to change it to about that. So how's that looking? So it's already looking like a bunch different so far. Kind of eliminates the whole behind and leaves the buildings and stuff like that. Clarity. Yeah, we want to just tweak that, but not too much. I don't like playing with clarity a lot. Oops. I don't like using a vignette either. Usually I just play around with everything until I like what I see. Detail, I do like to sharpen it down a bit. Optics. Okay. Okay, so this is where I do like playing. So I'll show you what I just did. So I swiped over to selective. I really like playing with this because you can actually like give it a kind of vibe of where the sun's coming from and like add in a sunlight. So I'll go over to the top here and I'll choose the third one across. And I want to drag from the bottom there, and you see how I'm going to level it out with a shadow there. Just going to bring it about there, and I want to effects. I don't know why it's red on here. Oops, wrong thing. Detail, lights. I want to bring the exposure like down, so it's a nice dark shadow. Oops. But I also want to bring it up a bit more. No, too much. Too much. And then I'm going to do the same thing in selective, add another one from the top this time. Coming down like that and go back into lights and change the exposure to be up. So it looks like some like there's a bunch of sunlight coming from that spot there. Tick that. I don't like the way that looks like that, so I'm going to actually go back in and edit that. Click that one, and we want to just bring it down a little bit more. Oops. Actually, I'm going to bring it about there. Okay, cool. Just turn it up a little bit. Not too much. And yeah, that's I think that's pretty much how I'm gonna leave it. So yeah, it's really, really simple. Playing around with the presets that it already gives you, and then going from that is one of the best things to do. You can also add on to your presets with the other ones down here, like curve, grain, sharpening, and vignetting, etc. So yeah, it's as simple as that. The only thing I don't know if it does, if you can save your presets on here, because I've only just started using it on my phone. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to like know how to do anything else in Lightroom on the computer or on your phone, yeah, let me know and I'll suss that. Jeez.